This is to everybody and anybody who's interested in HillmanTok University.
All right, I'm campus security. Let's go for a walk. So please, exit. Go. I don't. No.
Have a good night.
You have to bear with me because I've been emotional and I had to write down my thoughts so that I wouldn't miss anything. But this is how you start an educational revolution.
I know I didn't just see a white woman crying about her not being a part of HillmanTok. I know I didn't just see a white woman crying on here about HillmanTok.
Okay, white women. So now that we're feeling excluded from and kicked out of Dr. Barlow's HillmanTok University, we're finally ready to have these conversations. I mean, okay, but it's not a good look for us that it took until we felt personally affected by all of this stuff to really take an interest. So let's talk about why we don't need to be in this particular space at this present moment learning from these Black women.
Oh, wow, Black women giving university classes? Hello, everyone. I'm white, and I'm taking the classes too. Clap for me. Everybody, clap for me. Because I'm white, and I'm taking classes taught by Black women.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for choosing us today. So some palm-colored women just learned the hard way that you cannot just slide into black spaces and try to take over and get away with it. Well, HillmanTok is a university space created by Black people to educate Black people on Black history and Black issues. And Black women over there just had to check some palm-colored women who tried to trademark it and claim it as their own, because Black TikTok was not having it. Alright, let's get into it, why they got kicked out and why this is happening and why Black people always have to fight for what belongs to theirs and people try to take it away from them. If you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, and drop me a comment of your opinion in the comment section below. I'll be back with more commentary.
So let me get this straight. How do you invade a space that you know nothing about, then ask for additional material to help you understand the space? Meanwhile, the people who the space was created for don't need additional instruction because they understand the assignment, because why the space was made for them. Then while you're there, which I don't understand why you're there, you then causing a ruckus. You want professors to do extra work for you, coddle you? No. Then you sitting there, won't be quiet, questioning the facts that are being taught, like, oh my God. Have a good night.
Fuck you. Do not say anything to me. Nothing. You're a bitch. I have no interest in talking to you. None.
This is to everybody and anybody who's interested in HillmanTok University.
All right, I'm campus security. Let's go for a walk. I need you to understand this. If you don't understand why HillmanTok was created, then you can't participate. You're ruining the fun. So please, exit. Go. I don't. No. I don't want a response. I want you to go into the night. Be free, bird. Be free.
This is to everybody and anybody who's interested in HillmanTok University or TikTok University or whatever the hell you want to call it, because honestly I don't care. I created a course, a wild pregnancy free birth course, and I started posting about it, and I left a comment on somebody's page letting them know that I was so excited for everything that we as people have been able to build and to create and share knowledge. As a Latina woman married to a Black Latino man who speaks some Spanish but not a whole lot, we raise our children to be inclusive and accepting and loving, and to always want to learn and encourage them to learn and support everybody regardless. But the problem is that now we're coming across posts and comments being made about which is understandable. Let me say it is understandable where it's coming from. I'm not trying to take anybody's place, babe. but there are amazing Black women who have had unassisted births and wild pregnancies and can educate on that topic. But let me tell you that with every knowledge, there's always a different perspective, and perspective is what helps us grow and become more knowledgeable. There's resources that maybe I have that somebody else does not have, and vice versa. And I'm never going to stop learning, and I'm never going to stay quiet and be put in a corner, because that's exactly what got our society into the place where it is right now. I'm not telling you to do anything or to subscribe or to be a part of it, but we can be a part of the change, and that's what our world needs right now. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. But listen, with certain comments that have been made, they may say we need our husbands to sign before we could open a bank account, and single women don't mean nothing, and whatever else may happen. And if you need support, then I want to be that support. If you need education, then let me help educate you, because there's only so much research one person can do, and I'm going to feed knowledge into you, and I want you to feed all the knowledge into me. When I started homeschooling my kids, I came across a homeschooling program called Woke Homeschooling. And it was a Black woman who created a course, and she found all of the real history on Native Americans and Black and Hispanic and Asians, and she put it all together and made an amazing course. And whether you homeschool or not, baby, look up that course, because when I tell you woke homeschooling is the way you want to go, when educating your children in a way that they will know and understand and relate to, that's where you want to be. But with all of that being said, let's just love on each other, because there's enough bullshit going on in the world, and we don't need none of that.
I didn't know we had to state the obvious, but obviously it needs to be stated. This movement was created by a Black woman, and we Black women jumped on board and decided that we are going to get on the bandwagon and we're going to educate people. What will not happen in these spaces where we are providing free information to everyone is any type of anti-Black rhetoric. There will be none of that in these spaces. Please do not think that you're going to enter in and think that you are entitled to anything that we are providing, because sometimes that tends to come out when we as Black women, and now I've seen Black men have jumped on board as well, so welcome to the movement. Sometimes what happens is people think that because you have the information, you're supposed to give it to them. So let me connote that to a little film history, because I am teaching acting, screenwriting, and directing. For those of you who don't know, I am Professor Mingo, and I have a master's degree in film. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism. I've been in this business for 30 years. And there is a book. Let me go get this book. There is a book that I got in undergrad when I was getting my journalism degree that I ended up teaching from when I taught at a college. And this is the book. So even though I am not teaching film history, let me give you a little bit of history. So this is called Tom Coon's Mulattoes, Mammies, and Bucks. Let's focus on this one right here. See, some of you have this idea about us Black women that we are your mammy. And you think that we're supposed to give you everything that you want, to provide all of the everything, the sustenance, the emotional support, like we're some type of dog and whatnot. You think that we're supposed to give you everything. You think you're entitled to our everything. We've talked about that after the election. What's not going to happen is in these free spaces, where these are safe spaces for Black people, what you're not going to do is come into our spaces with any type of aggression, entitlement, or anti-Blackness. Please know that while we are a giving people, we don't play that. You will be handled accordingly.
You have to bear with me because I've been emotional and I had to write down my thoughts so that I wouldn't miss anything. But this is how you start an educational revolution. Somehow this white woman ended up on the right side of TikTok, and I was inadvertently invited to join Dr. Barlow's class. And since then, I have been automatically enrolled in course after course, starting with TikTok University and ending up at HillmanTok University just today, where thanks to Miranda's organization, you can find your course list in one streamlined format. And as I scrolled, I found myself in tears because I have worked in the slogs of education for over 2 decades. And for too long, higher education has been out of reach for too many people, too expensive, too privileged, too unwilling or unable to adapt and change. But you have all said no. We won't bow to the constructs of education. We won't bow to the constructs of what you say education has to be or should be. Instead, we will educate one another. No longer will knowledge and skills be hoarded behind gates, but will be amassed by the populace freely and joyously. And I'm so happy to be here with you.
I know I didn't just see a white woman crying about her not being a part of HillmanTok. I know I didn't just see a white woman crying on here about HillmanTok. We don't care. We don't care. We never have and we never will. The people that, the black people that do care about your fucking tears, have them, take them, coddle them, let them lift you up, white woman. Yes! All of y'all lifting these white people up. Tell me, what do we in this time, in any time, what do we need from white people that requires teaching? Bitch, I don't need no type of teaching from you. I need your money. I need your position. Give me that. Donate some fucking money. Buy an app so all of the black people can get on there and fucking learn some shit. And maybe you can download the app too. Bitch, I don't need you to teach me shit. I want your fucking dollars, ho. Yeah, we don't need that. You ain't got nothing to teach me. What can you teach me about being black in America?
This message is for all the white girlies that want to be a part of HillmanTok University but are feeling like they're not being welcomed or accepted. Come, hold my hand while I tell you this, okay? And I say this with all the grace in my heart as somebody that has grown up in predominantly white spaces all of my life. The reason you're feeling like that is because you don't know how to assimilate. And I get it. You've never had to because you've never been the minority in the room, right? So for the rest of us, when we enter into other people's spaces, what we do is we remain quiet, we observe, and then we adapt and adjust. When you hear black women talk about code switching, that's literally what it is. We are adapting and adjusting to the environment that we're in. And I get it. You guys have always had the privilege to show up as your whole self all the time. Okay? And the feedback you're getting is not that black women are intentionally kicking you out of their space or not welcoming you. It's the fact that you guys are coming in and you're being loud and very boisterous. And it's like, nah, pipe it down. This is our space. Okay? So you need to learn how to assimilate. You need to learn how to be quiet, how to observe, adapt, and then adjust. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Oh, wow. Black women giving university classes. Hello, everyone. I'm white, and I'm taking the classes too. Clap for me. Everybody, clap for me. Because I'm white, and I'm taking classes taught by black women. I am amongst black people, and I am quietly taking the classes too. And if you didn't hear me the first time, I'm white. Yeah.
I've been trying to make this video for about 20 minutes now. And I'm so fucking angry. And when I get angry like this, I get emotional. But you know what? So be it. A group of black educators and black business professionals got together and created HillmanTok, which is what we do as a community. We uplift and we teach each other. And I'm so proud to see it because it takes us back to what our ancestors used to do. And then here come the white people, specifically white women. One white woman tried to claim the domain so that she could profit off of it. I'm online in one of the classes and I'm listening to this professor speak, handsome black man. And in the comments, the black people are asking questions. They're trying to fucking learn. And what are you white bitches doing? You're trying to get some black D. You're flirting. You're cracking jokes. There was one black woman who asked a question of the professor. And a white woman decided she was going to answer the question. To which the black woman replied, "Thank you, but I'm asking the professor." And this bitch replied, you don't have to get an attitude, honey. I'm just, what? I get it. I get it. A lot of you bitches don't have voices at home. None of you bitches know what community looks like. But this is pissing me off to the point of no return. It's a rage inside of me because you bitches scream about unity, but you don't know how to fucking unite. Everything is about you. And my people, because we're loving people, we know we can't force you out of these spaces, so we try to welcome you with open fucking arms. But you don't know how to come in quietly. You're like a bunch of fucking drugged up bulls in a china shop. You destroy everything that's fucking good and pure. And you bring nothing, absolutely nothing of fucking value. You see a space where you can take and get free labor and your ancestral genetics kick the fuck in. And don't get me wrong, I'm upset because I'm sick of it, but I expect this from you. But I am so tired of my people allowing you bitches into spaces where you just fucking take and destroy and you shit all over it. Just stay the fuck out of our spaces if you can't learn to be respectful. It's that fucking simple. Deconstruct your shit and then go.
Please tell me this shit is not true. I need you to watch this.
I need somebody to tell me that it's not true. I need somebody to confirm for me that it is just an urban myth, an urban legend that some white woman is trying to trademark HillmanTok University. Because I've been sitting here for the last few days in awe of what black women and consciously didn't miss you. Just in awe of what you've been able to do in a very short period of time, that you collaborated, you coordinated, and offered your intellect, your knowledge, your expertise, your generosity to the masses. And from what I can tell, there was no gatekeeping. Even though you took the charge, and I didn't see a single white person, male or female, offer to volunteer their time, their expertise, or their knowledge to the cause. Nope, not one. You didn't say this is only for black people. And as white people do, we think everything is for us and that we automatically have an invitation to everything. Supposedly some white woman is trying to trademark it. And I did also learn that some people need to be reminded of what Hillman is. It is not ours. It was Claire and Bill's alma mater. And then Denise went off to college and they started a whole TV show called A Different World around the faculty and the students at Hillman. So fictional HBCU, but HBCU nonetheless, and it is not ours. So somebody please tell me that it's fake. That it's just a conspiracy, that somebody's trying to stir the pot and make us look worse than we already do as a demographic. And if it is true, fucking stop. Ladies, respect boundaries, know your place, have some manners. You don't go into other people's houses and just take things. It's embarrassing. I'm ashamed. I'm just ashamed. So it was really nice to have some light during some very dark times, and I really want to know that this isn't true. So somebody prove to me who it was, or tell me it was made up, because Hillman does not need any controversy around it, or any whitewashing, or any, can we keep it pure? Can we just keep it perfect? Thank you. Okay, bye.
See, when this thing became a runaway success, that is one of the first things I thought about. The fact that it hasn't been trademarked. I wasn't sure how big it was going to be because none of us knew how big it was going to be. Nobody knew the way it was going to voluptuate. Nobody knew how big it was going to be. And if this is true, and yes, my voice is gone, you'll be all right. If this is true, okay, let me get myself together because I am really getting emotional about this, because just The little seed that Dr. Barlow planted unintentionally, it's like she took her peach pits and just threw them out there and it sprouted a whole orchard just for the threat of someone of that group to come in and want to just snatch it from us. So reminiscent of what they continue to do. I did a video about that. They just come in, just right up under us. Before we can even birth the thing, we're in labor pains. Just having them fake labor pains. Water ain't really broke. They're already trying to snatch the baby out of our hands. Some of us haven't even taught a class yet. You're telling me the threat of someone coming and trademarking this thing that we all created collectively, that we are so proud of, actively trying to protect, and a lot of people want to gatekeep it. You know, I'm one of the ones, I'm like, hey, I'm cool either way. I'm cool if it's all of us. I'm cool if it's just us. This is really causing me to pause. It's really causing me to put my guard up. You know, you work on trusting, and then what do? They go and break the trust. Even if it's not true. This lady saw it somewhere, heard it somewhere. So there's some rumblings, which means that someone could potentially do it. I am disgusted. It's just another example of how we just can't have anything. We just can't be left alone. We can't just be viewed as happy. We can't just be skipping along, just frolicking. We can't even just love up on each other. There's some of you who respectfully come in and say, I would love to be invited, but if I'm not welcome, I'm okay. And then there's others who just want to Tulsa us, Rosewood us, Philly, back in the 80s. Because God forbid, we do what you all say, which is pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and do something for yourselves. The moment we do it, y'all want to snatch the baby before it even comes out the coochie. It can't happen this time. So I'm going to end it with this. I am willing to contribute money to help us trademark this, because what I'm not going to do is just sit back and not ask us to collectively contribute and pool our dollars to protect our thing that we all created. Like in what? Days and days, this thing has made an international impact, and it proves what we as a people are able to do. So family, we're gonna step up and we're gonna step in. The creators of the term, HillmanTok University, I need y'all to get on it, and then you need to put it out there so we can pool our money to get these trademarks. All right, attorneys, it ain't free. We ain't doing no off the internet paperwork. We're gonna get the shit done and we're gonna do it right. Because we're not gonna let this thing be another dance, trend, movie idea, whatever. Not gonna be another thing that they come in and just take from us. Because they move faster than us. And then as we're creating, we're not thinking about the business. We're gonna handle our fucking business. That's what we're gonna do. Handle our fucking business.
Okay, white women. So now that we're feeling excluded from and kicked out of Dr. Barlow's HillmanTok University, we're finally ready to have these conversations. I mean, okay, but it's not a good look for us that it took until we felt personally affected by all of this stuff to really take an interest. So let's talk about why we don't need to be in this particular space at this present moment learning from these Black women. Every single generation has some huge, awful, newsworthy event that really highlights how poorly Black people can be treated. And as it turns out, this is not our generation's first go around. It's only been 5 years since George Floyd was red-rummed. And at that time, we learned about the Black Lives Matter movement, which, by the way, was started by 3 Black women more than a decade ago. We went to protests and we went to marches. And at that time, Black women had some hope. They gave us reading lists and they made content for us, articles and books and videos, trying so hard through their pain and their rage and their grief to explain things to us, to help us to understand. And now, 5 years later, we have the audacity to come into their comment sections and say, we want to learn this stuff. We don't know it. How else will we learn? That's not true. All of the stuff already exists. And the real thing is, if you want to be an ally, if you truly want to be a safe person, most of the work starts in your real life, in your home, and in the community that you move in, regardless of whether there are Black people in that community or not. Because the 3 things that we need to start with in order to truly do the work have nothing to do with Black people. The first is, how do you handle emotions? Do you know what to do with hard emotions, with anger and sadness and grief and disgust and shame and guilt? Do you know what to do when other people are having those emotions? We need to be able to handle our own emotional baggage and also be able to tolerate other people's emotions. The second is to take a look at how you treat people who have less power than you, societally speaking. How do you treat retail workers, service workers? How do you treat children? What are your parenting values? What do you expect from children that you don't expect from adults? And why is that justifiable? And then lastly, how do you allow yourself to be treated by people who have more power than you, societally speaking? Some examples of these could be your father, your brother, your boss, a teacher, a politician, a religious leader. Do you know how to stand up for yourself? Do you know how to set and maintain boundaries? Because until we can do all of those things, any allyship, no matter how many books we've read, will always be performative. And these are the things we have to tackle within our own homes, our own communities, before we can even be able to meet Black women at the level that they are and speak intelligently about these things. So go do some Googling. We have the internet. All of the information is already there. We don't need to be here. Okay, white women. Some Black women are upset with us in the comment sections at HillmanTok University. Before we start getting defensive and responding in kind, let's take a deep breath and talk about it, because we have emotional labor to do. We need to start with a really important fact. When you find yourself in a space where you are a minority, you are not judged first as an individual, but you are judged by the quality that makes you a minority. And if you dislike that, if you're finding it really uncomfortable, consider the implications for Black women, who often have no choice in their real lives but to be in spaces where they are the minority, and often by a large margin. So many of us try to distance ourselves from what white women represent as a whole. We talk about our progressive politics, or our other marginalized identities, or the books that we've read, or our Black friends and family and coworkers. But it is precisely our desire to distance ourselves from what it means collectively to be a white woman that makes us so dangerous. Look and read and listen to what biracial people say about their white moms, their white families, even the progressive ones. Look at the stats from the most recent elections. Read what Black women said after the results were released. Listen to what they said. Although we may not feel like we have a lot of power in society because we have less power than some, we still have much more power than others. And if we don't accept and understand what that truly means, then we cannot consciously choose not to wield it against other people. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun, but it is how the world is at this present moment. And so if you are a person who you think that you should get to be judged as an individual and not as a collective white woman, then sit down, shut up, listen to what people are saying, and don't ask for recognition from Black women that you're different. Because unless you can truly prove otherwise, which takes time, effort, commitment, you are a white woman and you are dangerous. We all are. So let's do better.
Alright guys, there you have it actually. If you haven't heard about it, HillmanTok University is a digital space that's on TikTok, and it was created by Black people where they come together to share education, especially knowledge about Black history, Black culture, and Black issues in particular impacting their communities. But most of the time when Black people actually create something dope, here comes some entitlement from some people somewhere. So in this case, guys, allegedly, a group of palm-colored women came together and decided to trademark this TikTok space, this HillmanTok University, and try to claim it as their own. They literally tried to take ownership of something that they did not create themselves and had no business taking over. So I don't get the audacity there, because this space actually does not belong to them. Now, honestly, we have seen this pattern before actually, where Black people go out there and create things and some outsiders come ahead and try to rebrand it and monetize it and claim ownership of it and act as if they discovered it themselves. From music to fashion to even language with the Black American slang, and now digital spaces where people want to actually claim what does not belong to them. So Black women on HillmanTok University weren't actually having it. They came and fought for what belongs to them. People could not believe that Black women, especially a movement that was created by Black women and then Black men joined and started championing this themselves. This movement was created actually to teach black people about various things in the society, black history, black culture, and even further education, higher education. So people could not believe that black women were giving lectures and classes on TikTok on things that matter. Well, some palm-colored folks actually appreciated being on this platform, being on this university and learning from black women. For others, it seems like they just wanted to mock what black women were doing, or they were just joking about it. You know, allegations are there that they even try to flirt with male professors, asking for some inappropriate information about, you know, black men, and black women did not have it. They started actually coming out and calling them in numbers and telling them that they do not belong there. They started kicking them out of the classes, out of the space, and they are telling them that they no longer have any part in HillmanTok University, especially because of the way they are trying to be entitled with the space instead of respecting what people are doing. People are offering free education, higher education that you cannot get in these universities. We all know how hard it is for especially marginalized communities and black people to get education, you know, from these universities, which are too expensive for black people to afford. And they started this movement as a way of giving back to their society, giving back to their community, and offering free knowledge to people who actually want to learn, and in the process actually educating and elevating their own community. But it's unacceptable when another community comes onto the space, instead of listening and observing what's happening in that community or in that space and trying to learn from it and appreciate it, you try to mock what people are doing, or you try to joke with what people are doing. So this raised a lot of anger from particularly black women, because they were saying this is a serious space. This is not some regular TikTok joking space. This is a serious space where people are teaching each other. People are actually holding classes in there, because we have a lot of black professors who are offering tuition and education for free. So for you to come onto the space and take it for a joke, it was an insult to them. Thank you very much for watching this far, guys. Let me know what you think about today's episode. Is it acceptable for a community to come and mock another community in their space when they are doing serious business there and trying to teach each other and learn from each other? Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like this video. As always, guys, see you on the next episode.